This Pacific Office Automation 147 2025 Betting Picks edition of the NASCAR Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Underdog's got a brand new offer for new customers. Play just $5 and get $50 in bonus funds when you sign up with our promo code RACE, SGPN.
Driver, start your engine!
Strap in and pull those belts up tight as the Sports Gambling Podcast Network presents the NASCAR Gambling Podcast.
I'm just gonna put my foot on the floor and I'm not lifting till I see God or a checkered flag.
My man.
With all the news and the best bets for your NASCAR weekend.
We want to thank you tonight for these mighty machines that you brought before us. Thank you for the Dodges and the Toyotas. Thank you for the Fords. Lord, I want to thank you for my smoking hot wife tonight, Lisa. In Jesus' name, boogity, boogity, boogity.
Now, here are your hosts, Rod Villagomez and Cody Zeeb.
Welcome to another episode of the NASCAR Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. He's Cody Zeeb. I'm Rod Villagomez. We head faked you and we head faked you again, and then we head faked you again. Cody, I think we probably didn't know until 5 minutes before the show exactly what this episode was going to be. Thank you, books, for once again putting us in this predicament.
Yes. Yeah. Just the trucks have not raced in 2 weeks. Could we get some odds by fucking Wednesday at 4:00? Is that too much to ask for? When the race is on Saturday? Saturday morning, like 11 a.m. race for the trucks? Just ridiculous, Rob.
Yeah, it feels a little bit fishy. I'm a little bit sad. And then the Xfinity odds came out, and that was great. And then, we were waiting and waiting for a full slate, and they finally came out with a full slate. We got top 10s, top 5s, a couple of matchups, but still not the offering that we're used to seeing on a Wednesday. So I don't know. Maybe the lower series interest in them are waning a little bit, but not here, folks. We are here for it.
College football, I mean, is here. NFL starts next week, so we are getting to that time of the year. But there's still, I don't know. There's plenty of Xfinity stuff that I was able to find. At least maybe I took it all from you. Sorry if that was the case. But I was gonna be jam packed if we did a double show. So here we go. That's all right. Truck odds are just started to trickle out now. Just checking in. Says good afternoon. Where are the truck odds? They're starting to trickle out now, but then it's tough because they literally came out 40 minutes before the show, and so it's like, sure, we could race and get some stuff, and we've already done some research. Like, we kind of have an idea who maybe we want, depending on prices, but then also like one book, and it's not the greatest of books in a general sense, as we've touched on this week a little bit. And so let's wait for better odds and get better numbers and more options. So yeah, we're going to roll with Xfinity today. Rod will be back with trucks tomorrow. Hopefully he can handle the ad reads by himself.
I don't know, man. That's a little rough. You're asking too much of me, man. I don't know if I could do a solo show.
It'll run a lot smoother than my solo shows last week. So,
so today we are going to shift gears a little bit, and we're just going to cover Xfinity. Let us stretch our legs a little bit, kind of like the old days where we used to do one show per series and sort of get ourselves good and thoroughly into the markets for this Portland race. And I'm not too mad about it. I actually like the offerings this week. I think there's a lot of fun plays to have, and I think being able to talk about it a little more than just cramming it into a second half of an episode is better.
Yeah, and like no Cup guys at all. They're racing in Portland while Cup is in South Carolina at Darlington. So no Cup guys are in this one at all. And we won't see Cup guys the rest of the year now because next week is the final race of the regular season. So that's it for Cup guys, which kind of makes it interesting. Then you've got road course aspect of things, and Zilich is planning to race. How long does he race? Is he worth betting on if he does race? We're going to get into all that. Certainly some interesting aspects to this race. So yeah, I'm excited to have a full episode to break it down.
Indeed. Laura saying, hello guys. Yes, mine are still not up. I know
Laura.
it's the going thing right now. And then of course, TK saying another CZ win, Allgaier second, third in a row. Will Brown top 5, maybe get out of the dock.
By CZ, I'm sure he meant Cody Zeeb, right? So another Cody Zeeb win this week. I like that. So that's always nice. And Ash checking in as well. Yeah, we'll touch on all that pretty much, Ash.
Most certainly will. Jess wishing me good luck and wear the Blues Clues shirts. Do not dare me. That one may make an appearance tomorrow if it's cold enough. But before we get into all of that, we tell you that football's back, and so is our amazing merch sale. You get 25% off of everything in the merch store with promo code football. Make sure to go check out all of our fun racing gambling podcast stuff. Remember, if it's in the merch store, it says Racing Gambling Podcast. It's got our logo on it. I've got a cool coffee mug, and I know that Cody's got a couple of hoodies. I know my daughter's got a cool hoodie, so go get yours and now take 25% off with the promo code football.
Race officials and terrorist shirts.
Officials or terror shirts. Now's a great time to get in on that, as I'm sure it'll ramp up here before the end of the year. Also, SGPN just launched their NFL Survivor contest. It's a $100 entry, winner take all at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/survivor. Plus, if you're new to Splash Sports, you get promo code for finals for $10 credit on this one. All right, Cody, like we said, we are in Portland, and it's the only show in town for the Xfinity guys for this Pacific Office Automation 147 for the Portland International Raceway. Here's the thing about this one, right? This hasn't been around very long in the Xfinity series. They've only raced here 3 times, so we don't have the world to pull up as far as track history is concerned. But there have been some pretty big names at the top of this list every single year.
Yeah, there've been some pretty good races too. I mean, we've had some really good battles the last couple of years at this track in particular. So, and I do think that maybe not having Cup guys generally, I guess AJ flew from St. Louis there and fucked up his entire playoff run for some reason a couple of years ago. But that's neither here nor there. But yeah, I think it's led to great racing, and I think we're in for it again this week. I don't think this track is on the schedule next year, unfortunately. So. I guess enjoy it while you can. And if you're in the Pacific Northwest, I would get there. I'll have to double check on that, but I'm fairly certain I saw that it was not on the 2026 schedule.
You mean they're not adding 16 more road courses to the schedule to make everybody happy? And Portland,
they did that with the truck series.
That's true too. And I'm telling you, listen, say what you will, but I don't know that anybody will be happy with any configuration of any schedule from now until the end of time for these guys, because it just feels like you can find something to be mad about every single time you look at a schedule.
Yeah, absolutely. That definitely is the case. And yeah, I'm looking through. I do not see Portland. Of course, they'll be going to San Diego next year with the Cup Series and trucks. So maybe that's what will replace that. But no Portland next year. So enjoy it while it's there.
That's fine. I will, Cody. Don't threaten me with a good time, because I certainly will. But all right. Well, then let's set up this race. We are set for 75 laps around this 1.970 mile paved track for 147.750 miles around the Portland International Raceway. Hence the Pacific Office Automation 147, because that is the mileage that they are going to run. Like you said, good races.
I like it. They nailed it.
3 years in the making. So yeah, here's our 4th and final for a little while.
Yeah, absolutely. Should be a good one. There's 37 cars entered in this one, Rod. Of course, no Cup Series guys running in this one. No Truck Series guys either. So all Xfinity guys. A couple of ringers still, though. Alex LeBay is going to be back in the 07 car. Will Brown, Supercars driver, he's going to be back in the number 11. Of course, we've seen him make a few starts, and we will be talking about him in a little bit. Jack Perkins is going to be back in that number 19 car. We saw him drive that car. Was that Watkins Glen or Sonoma a couple of weeks ago? I know he was in one of those. Kyle Sieg is sitting out of the 28 this week, Rod. He's given up his ride for one. Joey Hand. Did I see right? Joey Hand was on the cover of this show. Look at that. I love it. I'm glad you made that addition once we pulled the truck guy off of there. So, yeah, Joey Hand will be in the 28 for Kyle Sieg this week. The number 45 car is going to be Vincent or Vincente. I don't know, one of the two. Salas is going to be in the 45 for Alpha Prime. Thomas, last place Annunziata. He's going to be back in the 70 car for who is the 70 car for? Cope Family Racing. That's why he's last place. Josh Williams making his return with DGM, who he once raced for, once parked a DGM car on the Talladega front stretch and got himself a better ride. He's returning to that team in the 91 car this week.
Lots of big full names. I will say keep an eye because I haven't seen I haven't seen the news. I'm pretty sure Connor Zilic will finish this race, right? I don't think he's trying to pull himself out of this race.
Well, we've not seen anything official, Rod, nor does it matter what we officially see, I suppose. But just to answer Ash's question real quick, there was a Portland Speedway back in the day. It ran from 1924 until 2001. The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, along with the Winston West Series, did visit there. Just a little fun fact of the day. But yeah, the Connor Zilic thing. So we've not seen anything. Dale Jr. did make a comment on Monday's Dale Jr. download that initially they had contacted Parker Kligerman about Portland and driving there. And because the CW doesn't film at the track, made it harder. He obviously has, stuff to do with them. So it's kind of like one of those things. But he kind of left it at that. So, obviously Kligerman got in at Daytona. Is Zilic going to run? We're only 3 weeks removed from collarbone surgery. From what I've heard, collarbone's one of the most painful things to break. Luckily, knock on wood, I've not broken my collarbone. But, you're going to put this guy in that car 3 weeks removed. And while it can be done, and he's a great driver and an awesome young kid, the strain of the lefts and the rights and all the shifting, and there's a lot of stuff going in those cars while you're not going at the high speeds that you are on an oval. It's a lot. So does he run this entire race? I don't know. I don't know. Do we want to just talk about how we're not going to bet him outright at the top of the show right now?
And this is 1,000% where I was going with this, because if you look at his odds to actually to win this race,
minus 150.
Minus
insane.
150. But also, Cody, what makes it worse is that sometimes, those outright numbers, you're like, oh, okay. But the top three, minus 700 on Hard Rock. And then a top 10, minus 1,600 on our top five, minus 1,600 on Hard Rock. This is insane.
Yeah, it's crazy. Although, honestly, if he was not injured, I might be advocating you just bet him a minus 150. There's no competition in the field that can hang with him. There really, truly isn't. So he might be worth betting on a normal week. But a couple of cautions. Neither of us are giving him out today, and for a few reasons. One of them is obviously the pain. They're 100%, 99%, I don't want to guarantee anything, will be a backup driver on standby in case he cannot handle it. There is that possibility that he has to get out of the car. Even if he is able to handle it, at what detriment does that come, right? If you're uncomfortable in a situation, you might not be performing at the top. You might make a mistake because you're not completely mentally in the game. So there's that part of it. Then also you have books that are just fucking everyone over left and right this past week. So if he does get out of the car, they wouldn't honor the bet when it was a predetermined outcome that he was getting in the car or getting out of the car. So now if we don't know, they're not going to honor it anyway. So don't bet it on DraftKings or Caesars. I can 1,000% tell you that, because they're just going to mark it as a loser if he gets out of the car. So do not, whatever you do not place bets for Connor Zilic to win on either of those books this weekend, because if he gets out of the car, you're completely fucked and there's no way out of it, because that's how they operate. So I'm just going to put that out there for you. But if you're going to bet him, bet somewhere that'll pay it out, I guess. But that is my hesitation, is does he make it to the end, and or does somebody else get in there? And I don't know who they're going to put in there at this point that makes you think, Kligerman at Daytona, you're excited because he's a great super speedway guy, right? But who's not in this race that's not in South Carolina at Darlington that they're going to throw in this car that suddenly, Boris said from 2000 isn't showing back up to jump in the car. So, that's why I would avoid betting him, honestly.
Yeah, and honestly, that is exactly my point too. Is you put somebody in there at Daytona, that's a little different because he can make his way from the front to the back in Daytona. You swap out, lose all that track position at a road course race, then you're fighting a very uphill battle. And there's very few road course racers, like you said, left out there that have the skill of Connor Zilic that could win this race, right? So, like, it's just a matter of you can't take that risk, because if he does get out and he doesn't pay, and then you're screwed. If he gets out and he loses the race, that car loses the race, you're screwed too.
Yeah, and that's not to mention, right? Things go wrong, mechanical stuff, wrecks, somebody hits him, all sorts of
He
things.
hurts
Right?
too much throughout the race and loses
Well,
his focus, and he can't do
that's
it.
a big thing. Yeah, and Connor can't seem to lose no matter how he manages himself. Yeah, but look at Mexico City. He didn't win there because he did mangle himself, right? So, I mean, he's not completely invincible either. So, I think, yeah, good to just talk about that up front. Obviously, he is clearly the best driver in this field on road courses. He should come out and just stomp everyone like we told you SVG was going to do a couple of weeks ago, and he did. But there's so many things after the but that just make it at minus 150. I don't think you can touch it. No, I didn't know. SVG is not going to sub for him more. SVG is racing for the playoffs in Darlington, so he will not be in Portland.
As much as he would love to do it, he's definitely not being able to do it. So, all right. Well, then let's get to the bets. But before we do, I want to tell you about our friends over at MyBookie. We're brought to you by MyBookie.ag. MyBookie is your place to bet on football and everything else, and it's your home for NFL and college football. MyBookie's $100,000 NFL Super Contest, only a $15 entry, and they're offering buy two entries, get one for free. So 2 for 1. You might want to take him up on that offer. MyBookie accepts customers from a ton of locations. There's easy deposit and lightning fast payout using cryptocurrency. I introduced you the other day to a fun little sport that I'm going to write up in a few days, and that's kabaddi. Yes, it's like tag on speed. I absolutely love it. The Toluga Titans are taking on the UP Yoda, and I'm going to take those Titans as underdogs because why the hell not, right? So you can find kabaddi on mybookie.ag. You can head over to mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN for a 100% bet back bonus up to $500 for new customers. See, that means that if Toluga does not get it done, you get it back. So don't worry about it. It's no lose for you. Mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. NFL is back, baby, and it's back on rhythm. Last season, rhythm was 76-66 against the spread and 22-19 on over-unders, and they really shined on player props. How about Josh Allen passing props? 15-8 on the season, 23% ROI. Rhythm also has MLB, WNBA, golf, and college football. Go to the site today. Start building your NFL models for week 1. Week 1 is right around the corner, friends, and that is exactly what you should be doing. So head over to Rhythm right this instant and get your 7-day free trial by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. NFL right around the corner. Drafts are happening for fantasy football. Ugh, so great.
I'm so excited. The Huskers play tomorrow night, Rod. Oh, it's beautiful. It's absolutely
Let's
beautiful.
not talk college football. I'm still bitter because Fresno State got their ass handed to them by Kansas the other day. I would surely, and you know who's quarterbacking for Fresno State right now?
Somebody famous's kid. Kurt Warner?
Yep,
No.
Kurt Warner's kid, EJ Warner.
Is he the one that came to one of the Warner kids came to Nebraska for a little bit and sucked? I think he was a wide receiver though.
Well, all I know is that I'm hoping for better things out of him. So
he was here for like 4 days and then
yeah, well, we'll see how this season pans out after the rest of it. All I want to do is beat Boise State. As long as he can do that, we're good to go. So, all right. Well then, Cody, we already talked about our Connor Zilic strategy for the week. So, who does make the card for this race?
Yes. Well, we're going to kick it off. I am going to take Sheldon Creed. That's right. We're going to bet on Sheldon Creed. Luckily, not to win, so you don't have to worry about that. But we're going to take Mr. Second Place himself over Public Enemy number 1. You can find this over on ESPN at -110. That's Austin Hill, by the way. Everybody hates Austin Hill right now. Can you really blame them? I don't think you can. But you look at road course stuff. We've talked about Hill oftentimes about how good of a road course racer he is, and he is a solid road course racer. Sheldon Creed, though, a good road course racer in his own right. So Austin Hill has started all 3 races here, 3rd in his first start, 5th in his second start, 11th in his third start, so progressively getting worse. Hopefully that trend will continue. For Creed, 32nd his first start, did have a rough day there, but 7th 2 years ago, 13th last year, but asterisk on that. He was racing Justin Allgaier for the lead late in that. I believe they got together and I don't remember exactly what happened, but finished 13th, but he was third and second in the stages. He ran well throughout the day and had a great battle there. Of course, SVG ends up sneaking through late and winning the race anyways, but that was a fun one. So go back and look at what they've done at the road courses here this season. Sheldon Creed's beat Austin Hill in 2 of the last 3. Watkins Glen, Creed got out, I believe, in that wreck that was caused by Austin Hill. Shocker. Along with most of the rest of the field. So bad finish there. Austin ends up in the 4th. But 10th at Sonoma for Creed, to the 12th place at Sonoma for Austin Hill. 3rd at Chicago to 4th at Chicago for Creed over him there. And then Mexico and Coda, 11th and 12th for Creed. 3rd and 4th for Austin Hill. So overall, Hill has the advantage on him, but we saw it last week already. Nobody wants to work with Austin Hill. Nobody wants to be around Austin Hill. And we've talked about this with Carson Hocevar in the past. When you become public enemy number 1, Rod, where is the easiest place to oopsies as I go by you or as I get close to you? And you spin out and you're not going to get fined or penalized for that. Fuck. You can wreck 3/4 of the field intentionally and you won't get penalized or fined for it on road courses. Austin Hill proved that to us. So I think you have to completely avoid Austin Hill this week. And I'm going to do the opposite and bet against him. Give me Sheldon Creed over public enemy number 1 at -110.
You will avoid him as a bettor, but everybody on the road course will not be avoiding him. They will be getting into him and sending him around because you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. And that's exactly what Austin Hill is experiencing right now. So I'm 100% with you on that one. And boy, you saw it drop like a rock too. Austin Hill peeks himself out of the line and everybody goes, nope. And
I literally pointed at the TV and said, Austin Hill, and just watched it. Like everybody's like, yeah, fuck that guy.
Yep. Yeah, they were like, "Is that the 21?" Bye. Hate it for you in the back now because that's exactly where you're heading. So, I love it. All right, I am going to go to a couple of former teammates in one. Justin Allgaier and Sam Mayer are paired together in this grouping, and believe it or not, Justin Allgaier is at even money to beat Sam Mayer in this one. Sam Mayer actually the favorite in this pairing, but I'm going to take the underdog in Justin Allgaier. And I'm just going to start with the obvious. He is 3 for 3 on this track in beating Sam Mayer is Justin Allgaier on this particular track. Sam Mayer has finishes of 38th, 3rd, and 21st, or 28th rather. I get it. They're all in the one car, what he used to drive back in the day. And I know you're going to talk about him in a little bit later, make a different case for him. But I will say Justin Allgaier has a 5th place finish and 2 runner-up finishes here, and has led 23 and 46 laps, respectively, in this particular racetrack for Justin Allgaier. He has been runner-up to Shane Van Gisbergen, which is probably very frustrating for Justin Allgaier because obviously, you know, when you're a good road course racer, you're like, I want to be the man. But then when the other man comes in, you're like, ah, shit. Well, that there goes that. So, but he was runner-up to Shane Van Gisbergen in the race last year, and then he was runner-up again in the 2023 race before that. Now, the reason why I'm sure that Sam Mayer is much better off here and the favorite in this one is because that 41 car has been a little better for him when it comes to road course races this year. He finished 3rd at Coda. That was a really impressive day, if we remember, because he had finished 36th in Atlanta the week before, 2nd at Daytona, but he comes out with a 3rd place finish at Coda. Then he follows that up with a bad finish at Mexico City in 23rd. Get that, but that was a street course first time around. 8th at Chicago, then a bad day at Sonoma, 17th, and then a runner-up finish at Watkins Glen. So not bad outings for road course races for this 41 car in Sam Mayer. And then this has kind of been atrocious for Justin Allgaier, where you expect him to be really good at road courses. He's sort of failed pretty miserably this year. At Coda, he started 4th, ended up in 29th place. Mexico City started 12th, ended up in 34th. Chicago started 6th, ended up 23rd. Sonoma finally had a good finish, 6th place there. Watkins Glen, 6th place. So where I'm taking this is that maybe Justin Allgaier's ramping back up toward playoff mode. Maybe these tracks that he's familiar with, he'll be a little bit better. And again, he's 3 for 3 in beating Sam Mayer at Portland. So I think that streak continues. And even money, I will definitely take that for this matchup.
Completely disagree. Thank you.
I know you do, and that's fine.
I'll make my case for Sam Mayer in a little bit. Yeah, he's 3 for 3 over him. Some results might be misleading. We'll toss an asterisk on there and talk about it in a little bit.
Indeed, we will. All right, no asterisk needed for this next one. I love this one.
Do you love this one, Rod? I love this one as well, and it is Jesse Love himself over Nick Sanchez -115. This is a case of, what have you done for me lately more than anything? If you go back over the last 10 races this season, Jesse Love has got 8 top 10 finishes. He's been on a solid run, good finishes, minding his P's and Q's, not pissing everybody off like his teammate. For Nick Sanchez, you have to go back. If you go back over the last 13 races, you can only find 3 top 10 finishes for him. It's been really rough. Now, he's been pretty solid on the road course. Well, I say he's been solid, but he's been okay, right? Jesse Love still has a 3-5 advantage, or 3 out of 5 advantage over him. So 3-2 in Jesse Love's favor. Watkins Glen, well, for this track, I guess, just to preface, Jesse Love has 1 start, 19th last year, not the most impressive. Sanchez did not race here last year. Of course, he was in the truck series at the time. But Watkins Glen, 14th for Jesse Love, 24th for Sanchez. Again, asterisk on that race because half the field got wrecked, but that's how it goes. At Sonoma, it was a 4th place finish for Nick Sanchez. Unfortunately, Jesse Love had mechanical issues and didn't get very far in that race, finished 38th. Chicago, they were separated by just 1 spot. Mexico was easily Jesse Love. Even an 18th place finish was good enough to beat the 31st from Nick Sanchez. Back to Coda, 6th place for Jesse Love, 24th for Nick Sanchez. So combination of he's beat him in more road courses this year than he hasn't. And just lately, what have you done for me lately has been really bad for Nick Sanchez. Got that big win at Atlanta, right? That was coming off the heels of a great run at Sonoma, coming off the heels of a great run at Chicago, goes and wins Atlanta, and then crickets ever since. We've not heard from Nick Sanchez. We faded him a couple times in matchups, and it's worked out pretty well for us. It's been a rough go of it for the 48 car. Hopefully, as they get into the playoffs here in the next couple weeks, they can start to turn things around. But until they do, I'm going to continue to fade him. So give me Jesse Love over Nick Sanchez. You get that one at -115 over on ESPN.
And it's tough because you want good things for Nick Sanchez. Obviously, he has proven that he can hang, but Jesse Love has been proving that more often and has been proving that more consistently over the course of his couple of years in the Xfinity series. And plus the equipment is just that much better than what Nick Sanchez has right now. And it's not to say that they're like far superior, but at least enough to where it's going to make a little bit of a difference. So I definitely love it. And Laura is saying that I'm reading her mind, which is definitely a California thing. We are on the same wavelength. So I'm going to continue. Hopefully, Laura, this is on your card as well. And that's Carson Kvapil, top 10 at +110 over on ESPN. Carson Kvapil obviously has never been on this track before and has only limited road course experience in the Xfinity series, which is pretty much limited to this season. However, I will say that if you look at a graph and it is a straight arrow up, that's a definitely encouraging sign, right? And that's exactly what's happening with Carson Kvapil. You're watching him mature on road courses. Plus, he's got 2 of the best teammates out there when it comes to road course racing in Allgaier and in Zilich. So how did he start off the season? Well, he started off the season 5th place, starting in Austin in Coda, ended up 23rd in that race, but that's okay because then he comes to Mexico City, starts 4th, ends up 19th. Now, listen, he's going to start fantastic, but the finishes just weren't there. But still, here we go, right? So the 23rd at Austin, the 19th, there's the arrow kind of pointing up a little bit. Then he comes over to Chicago, 16th, it dips, but that's a street course. I'm throwing that out there too. But Sonoma, 8th place after a 7th place finish, or 7th place start rather. And then Watkins Glen starts 14th and finished 5th. So, I mean, there's one little kink in that little trajectory, but it's mainly up, right? The trend is going up. I'm not confident in a top 5 for Carson Kvapil because there's any number of things that can happen. Plus, we know we're already putting guys like Mayer, Zilich, Allgaier in there, as well as Creed and a couple of other guys that we think are top 5 cars. And so it kind of gets crowded up there. And I think +110 for a top 10 finish, which is something any JRM car should be able to do on a road course. Not the least of which is Carson Kvapil, who's done it on the last couple of road courses that we've been on. True road courses, rather, not these street courses, but true road courses. He's finished inside the top 10. I think he's bound to do it again, and at plus money, I like that offer.
Yeah, I think almost all of the good top tens, honestly. So, like, I guess you've got one longer shot, but all the rest of the top tens we're giving out are in that even money to under 2-1 range, because I think that's the best area for top tens this week. So I do not mind that one at all.
Indeed. All right. Well, then let's get to more of our bets. But before we do, I want to take this opportunity to tell you about our friends over at Underdog. Underdog's Best Ball Mania is happening all summer long, and they're giving away $15 million in prizes, including $2 million to first place. There's no waiver wire. There's no arguments about trades. Best Ball is literally the best way to play fantasy football. Underdog's also a great place to play pick'em, where you can win up to 500 times your entry. The Dutch Grand Prix happening this weekend. They're giving you Max Verstappen's finishing position projected at 3.5. It's so tough to take the better than in this case, but I will, only because this has been Max Verstappen's playground for so long. 3 wins in a row, a second place finish, but you look at lately, he hasn't had a podium finish in the last 4 races. That is obscene for Max Verstappen. His best finish this season, his best finish in the last few races has been a second place in Montreal. He's only got 2 wins in 14 starts this year. Woo! But he turns it around, at least gets on the podium at the Dutch Grand Prix. So give me Max Verstappen better than 3.5 finishing position. And I bite my tongue on that one and wait for it to cash. Underdog's got a brand new offer for new customers. Play just $5 and get $50 in bonus funds when you sign up with our promo code RACESGPN. The world's greatest sports book, Circa Las Vegas, is hosting the world's biggest pro football contest, Circa Million, Circa Survivor, and Circa Grandissimo, with over $21 million in guaranteed prizes. You can sign up in Nevada and play from anywhere with the help of SGPN's official proxy. Go to footballcontest.com, use promo code SGP. You're going to get $50 off of your proxy fees. Contest closed on Sunday, September the 6th, so get in right meow. Max Verstappen, how the mighty Red Bull has fallen into the clutches of McLaren.
Boy, that's no joke, Ron.
Too bad we don't have a show to talk about that in full anymore, but we'll get there. Yes.
Maybe again someday. We do have a show, Rod, to talk about one William Sawalich, and that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to take him top 5. That's right. I'm all aboard the William Sawalich train these days. Plus 450. Started out rough. We faded him. We have gotten off of the fade train because it's been good. If you go back over the last, 2, 4, 6 races, he's got 4 finishes, actually really 5 finishes of 12th or better. So it's been good, solid runs for him majority of the time. You look at what he's done on road courses this year, it's been pretty impressive. He's got the 26th at Watkins Glen with the asterisk for Austin Hill, right? We all know how that goes. So not going to look too deep into that. 3rd place at Sonoma, great run there. 37th at Chicago, but again, street course, right? So Coda, 9th place finish earlier on back there. Mexico City, 6th place finish. And don't forget, Coda, Mexico City, like those were races before he was doing good. And all around those races, he did not do good. But when he came to the road races, he was pretty good. He's dominated kind of, well, not he's dominated, but he's had some dominating wins in the ARCA series on the road courses as well, in much better equipment. So, you know, how much to look at that. But he's got some experience on him nonetheless. He's been impressive with what he's done in the Xfinity series so far this year, especially on the road courses. You know, you're betting the top 5 for him this week. Keep in mind, SVG's not in the field. Ty Gibbs isn't in the field. Kyle Larson isn't in the field. AJ Allmendinger's not in the field. We don't have all these extra guys taking up spots up near the top of this. It is just truly your Xfinity guys and Joey Hannon, a Supercars guy, right? But other than that, it's just a regular. So I like William Sawalich this week for a top 5 at plus 450.
Yeah, and I was eyeballing another Sawalich bet, but I knew that you were going to make a case for him. You saw the top 5 out there, so I was like, all right, I will leave him be. But I do agree with you that, you know, again, these JGRs and the JRM cars, and then of course the ones Haas factory car kind of going into the mix with Sam Mayer. But like these guys are always usually the class of the field, and they should continue to be that way, especially on road courses. And yeah, the fade train is done, man. We're off of it now because he's starting to cash tickets for you.
And like that was always the plan with him, right? Is ride it until the wheels fall off. The wheels fell off, and in this case, that was a good thing. And now you're on the other side, right? And I will just honorable mention to the even money top 10. I'm about to give you 4 other ones at that price. So I don't want to give you too many at that price, but I think you can do the top 5 at 4 plus 450. You're going to be inside the top 10 at that point in time, obviously. And he's been really outside of the street course and the Austin Hill Asterisk race. He's been in the top 10 every week with SVG in the field, with Kyle Larson in the field, with Ty Gibbs in the field, with Daniel Suarez in the field, all these guys. So, honorable mention for that even money if you're on the Swallows train like I am.
Indeed. All right. So you're right. I'm taking not a long shot, I guess, a longer shot. And then I'll give you an even longer shot, top 10, because I think that's the markets to attack this week on the books. And I'm going to take Harrison Burton again, top 10. The guy that we're not naming, I know he's kind of.
Is he still racing these days?
Yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say this, plus 250, right? If this is a coin flip for Harrison Burton, I'm going to have it land on the side where he's landed in the last couple of road course races. Last time out on a road course at Watkins Glen, he turned in a solid little 10th place finish after starting in the 17th position. Sonoma, all right, that was a 21st place finish. That was rough, and that was a bad day. But that was in a stretch of kind of equally not as fun days. He did get a 9th place at Mexico City for us earlier. 13th at Chicago, just missed a top 10 on that one. And then Coda, look, he stayed out to lead and win stage 2, but could not end up getting a good finish out of it. His axle broke and he ended up getting out of that race. But again, kind of getting reacquainted with the Xfinity series at that point. So can't really blame him too badly. But I will say Mexico 9th and the Watkins Glen 10th. I mean, Daytona, he finished in 16th, right? He started 8th and finished 16th. It's just, there's something about Harrison Burton that is so tantalizing when you talk about wanting a top 10 bet on him. And we cashed a few of them in the beginning of the year, right? We cashed the one at Daytona, Atlanta. If you put one on him in Vegas, you cashed there, Rockingham, Talladega, Fort Worth. I mean, he's done it for you 9 times this season so far. I think, a couple of them being on the road slash street courses is good enough for me to take a gamble on a plus 250 for Harrison Burton to find his way back into the top 10. So I know.
Yeah, I don't hate it. And like his results aren't that bad. I was severely disappointed because we had a lot on him last week and he just got caught up in a wreck early, which is, you shouldn't be mad about that because it's Daytona. That's how it goes, right? He just got shipped out of the line like lap 4 and you're like, God damn it. But that's how it goes at Daytona. So I'll try not to hold that too much against him. I'm still saying his name. He's not to that level yet, but yeah, and plus 250, especially again, the biggest top 10 I'm going to give you is plus 175. I generally search for the long shots in the deeper stuff, and I just could not find any I liked past that. But Harrison is probably the one I would settle for if I was looking for something bigger. So,
and then you think about it too, is his average finish this season is 13, so it's just outside of the top 10 as it is. He's on the cut line. He's on the cut line. He's got to score some points. He's got to be out there.
Could hurt your top 10 case because he could stage race a bit. But
I mean, he and Jeb Burton are right there.
Yeah, they're certainly going to have to be on their A game. So I don't mind it at all, and I think the price is correct for where it's at. So a couple of guys I like it, even money. Again, I think that you just kind of again this is a pretty straightforward race. The field is not. There's nothing crazy going on this week. It's all just pretty normal guys. Obviously, these races can get crazy, but Xfinity tends to be less so. Obviously, the trucks just get insane. Cup can be. I say they can get less crazy. Austin Hill wrecks 3/4 of the field last time we were on a road course. But outside of that, shouldn't be too bad. So I'm going to take Joey Hand for a top 10 at plus 100. So he's getting in the RSS number 28 car, the Ryan Sieg Racing car for Kyle Sieg. Now, we did see Eric Amarola win at Sonoma a couple of years ago in actually, I think it was the 28 car even when he jumped in for that race. So capable of winning on a road course. And Joey Hand, if you're not familiar with Joey Hand, which you might not be because he's only made 3 career Cup Series starts and doesn't have any Xfinity Series starts. But he's a 46-year-old fella, so he's been around for a while, but big Ford guy, right? Everything with him, he's a Ford factory driver, and he's done a lot of stuff. He's a former Star Mazda Series winner. He's a co-winner of the 2011 24 Hours of Daytona, the 2012 12 Hours of Sebring GT class, the 2016 24 Hours of Le Mans. The point is, right, he's got a FIA Platinum or he had an FIA Platinum license. Now he has an FIA Gold license. He's raced in the American Le Mans Series, Formula BMW, Toyota Atlantic, Formula Palmer, Audi, Star, Mazda, like all he's done his entire life as a race road courses is the point I'm trying to get across. So we've seen a couple of starts in the Cup Series, nothing overly impressive, although, and they were always in, like it was extra RFK cars, or I don't even remember what the other, I guess I probably have it right here if I look quickly. So he raced for, well, there's so many fucking results for this guy because he's done so many things. So Rick Ware was the 35th at Coda. I mean, that's going to happen in Rick Ware stuff. But then in Rick Ware equipment in the 15 car, he finished 21st at the Roval, and 31st at Watkins Glen. So not the greatest of days there, but solid starts. And then, of course, this will be his first career start in Xfinity. So in what he was in, did okay in it. But now you're putting him in what should be a fairly decent car. We've seen these seed cars be good, and it's a lesser field. He's a road course guy. That's what I'm leaning into. That's what I'm looking. I think at even money for Joey Hand for the top 10 is a worth a play. Then I'm also going to go to Taylor Gray, top 10 at plus 100. Taylor Gray is a guy we talk about on an almost week-to-week basis. He's been great this season, and he's had a lot of good runs. Daytona didn't go his way. Watkins Glen, he was on his way to cashing all the bets we had on him. A great day. And then Austin Hill happened, which, as we know, didn't go well for most people. Chicago 34th again, street course, not weighing that as much in. But the rest of the road courses, 7th place at Sonoma, 2nd place at Mexico City, 7th place back at Coda. Remember that Mexico City race? He was really good in that. I mean, leading there at the end of the race. Obviously, Daniel Suarez got around him, but looked really good. He's been impressive. Doesn't have a ton of road course starts. Truck Series, he had a couple, but he's looked impressive in them. That's why we bet on him at Watkins Glen. Those bets were well on their way to cashing, but unfortunately, wrong place, wrong time, as was, 3/4 of the field when Austin Hill wrecked everybody. So not a lot you can do about that. But again, all he has to do is finish in the top 10. He's got 2nd, 7th place finishes. All he has to do is finish top 10 in what is a great car with Joe Gibbs Racing. So, I like that for Taylor Gray, top 10 even money, and Joey Hand, top 10 at even money as well.
I just like that we're bringing up different names all together. So I absolutely love that. TK bringing up something very important that we didn't talk about earlier. Does Portland still have slow or non-competitive pit stops? If so, traditional road course stages flipping doesn't happen here. Last year he did it. SVG did it in stage 1. It didn't help him. Yes, to be completely honest, we didn't talk about it. We should have. This is going to be non-competitive pit stops for this one as well. It's the 3-minute break. So there is no stage racing in this. Yeah. This is just go till it stops. And that's going to,
forget about my point against forget about my point against Harrison Barton earlier. I did forget. It always throws me off, but yeah, when it's a non-companion race, they do typically go with the non-competitive stop. So if you don't know what that is, essentially they've got set times, and it's just after the stages. Like everybody will be allowed to pit. Where you go into the pits, you get 3 minutes because they just have the road crew, because the quote unquote real pit crews are going to be back doing the Cup Series and the Truck Series. It's a lot of the same guys usually. So the road crews will just be changing the tires. That'd be like if they put me and Rod out there to change the tires. Like I could change a tire, but I'm not going to do it in 13 seconds, right? Like an Xfinity guy might. So they have 3 minutes or whatever it is, change the tires, make the changes, fuel the cars, and then they'll go back out where they were before. So you're still able, if you have a problem, to come down pit road and change a tire if it's flat or whatever. But other than that, it's all non-competitive. So
they've been showing the announcers, or that the one announcer that's been out there trying to do the pit
stops.
Oh
yes, that's so funny. Is it is that Marty? No, I don't think
yeah,
it's Marty.
I don't remember who it is.
I remember who it is, but yeah, and he's just like pushes down on the jack and like he just comes off the ground. It's absolutely hilarious.
That's me. They try to ask me to lug that fueler, and I just be like, I drag it across. You'd hear as I drag it across the ground. That would be that'd be me. But
that is funny, but it does show you like seeing those picker guys up close and personal, just fucking animals. Like they are beasts of dudes, massive college football players, all that stuff, and that's an athletic thing those guys are doing, playing in traffic while they're doing it too.
Yeah, gone are the days where you're smoking a cigarette and then the guy comes in for service and you flick it over and you like grab your stuff and go, okay, here we go, jack the tire up. So, yeah, no, that's all gone now, and we're competitive.
Yes.
Although, you know who likes to sit in their car for a while and park their car and wait for things to happen, and that's Josh Williams. I am going to take him as my longer shot top 5 here at plus 550 for Josh Williams to be a top 10 car. Look, here's the thing. My handicap begins and ends with this. He finished 7th place last year in the number 11 car. There's honestly not much more that I can say that would convince you that Josh Williams is going to do this. And at plus 550, honestly, the books don't believe in him either. Now, he is driving the number 91 car, which has had Josh Bilicki in it for a better part of the season. And unfortunately, Josh Bilicki, not a prolific road course racer. He did finish 22nd here in COTA earlier in the season. Andres Perez, a prolific road course racer, finished 30th at Mexico City. And then turned around in 27th for Josh Bilicki at Watkins Glen, and then a 14th place finish by Josh Bilicki at Sonoma. So why am I so bullish on Josh Williams? Well, one, I needed something to actually say because I had one more block to fill, and I was like, who can I fill this block with? And so I'm going to fill it with Josh Williams. Here's the thing, though. Earlier this year in the 11 car, he did finish 15th at COTA. I know it's not a top 10, but it's pretty damn close, right? I mean, it's in the vicinity of where you could think of taking a top 10 for him. And plus, he is in the Colleague equipment, and he knows how to get it around. The 91, I would say probably a semi-decent car for him to be able to do this in and be a little more talented than his predecessors. Mexico City, he drove himself to a 20th place finish. Sonoma, a 15th place finish earlier this season as well. So a couple of fringe top 10 finishes for Josh Williams, and with SVG not being in the field, with all these guys that we don't expect to be kind of in competition this year, maybe he does sneak up 5 more cars. Maybe he does find his way into a pretty decent situation to where he finishes top 10. And then plus 550 is a really good price for a fringe top 10 guy.
Yeah, I mean, if you want a long shot,
it's okay. It's a long shot.
I think you made a great case when you said you had to put another bet in here, and this is the one you chose. So, I don't know.
Well, listen, I mean,
he couldn't do shit in the 11 car. That's the problem. Like we've seen, and granted, there've been Cup guys that have got in the car, but the cars looked competitive and good, whereas it just looked like ass when he was in it. So it's hard to, I don't know. I mean, he's racing for a job at this point in time, I would imagine. He brings a little bit of money with him, but he's looking for a job going forward. So,
well, this is a plug your nose and just, if you feel like you want to get froggy, again, he started 22nd last year, finished 7th.
Yeah, and if you want a long shot, like, again, it's hard to look much farther. Like, I wasn't really willing to look much past Harrison Burton. Williams is the plug your nose if you want a long shot, but that's about it. And, there was some chaos last year, as TK says, and Austin Hill's in the field, so anything can happen.
Exactly. Especially for top 10s. I mean, I'm not asking him to get a top 5, but
yes.
That's it.
Yeah,
all right.
No Cup guys. So that's always a bonus. So
always a bonus.
That's a bonus as well for Austin Green, the good Austin in this race, Rod. I'm going to take his top 10 plus 175. I love this bet. And then, when we expanded the show to Xfinity only today, I tossed in the top 5 as a bonus play, plus 750. I don't mind a sprinkle on that as well. He's been a guy we harped on every time we've come to road courses. It's not going to stop now, and it continues to show well, right? 7th place at Watkins Glen. Luckily, he avoided mass chaos from his non-brother Austin Hill over there, but did finish 7th place there, so good run. But Sonoma, 11th place finish, right on the edge there. Again, Cup guys, SVG. I don't remember SVG. We was in that race, yeah, because Zilich beat him, but not in this race, right? Chicago, 9th place finish there. Mexico City, 7th place finish there. He did have a rough day at COTA to open up the year, but outside of that, it's been all great finishes so far this year. Last year was his first time he made starts, and he jumped onto the scene and looked good right away. 7th at COTA, 15th here, but then 4th place at Sonoma, 10th at Chicago, 11th at Watkins Glen. The Roval wasn't so kind to him at the end of the year, but more positive results than non-positive results. He's in a decent car. Again, I don't even remember which car it is, but I remember noticing that it wasn't the worst of cars that he could possibly have been in. And I've lost the entry list as I would do. Here it is. He's in the Jordan Anderson car. So that's, he could be in worse equipment, I guess, is how you want to put that. But love his top 10 at plus 175, especially with no Cup guys in this field. And then the top 5, I don't mind for a stab at plus 750.
And the announcers are going to be going, oh, look at Austin Green. He's in the mix. He's always in the mix. Guys,
yeah, they're surprised every time. And it's almost like we didn't tell you every time that he was going to be good because I'm pretty sure we've bet on him every single career start he's made because we bet on him the first time he came out and it was like, holy shit, this kid is good. And he's been good just about every time. Few outliers in there, which is going to happen, especially in lesser equipment, but he really does a great job, and I think you're getting good numbers on him.
So are we claiming that Austin Hill is the wicked Austin of the West, and then
Yes, Austin Green is the only one who can save the Austin name at this point.
God, I love it.
It's got to suck to be that other guy named Austin Hill that's made a few starts because now he is the good Austin Hill, but he's got the name Austin Hill, which is kind of tainted at this point.
Very much tainted Hill. All right, so for me, I'm going from one former Kaulig driver to a now Kaulig driver in Christian Eckes. His top 10 number, or top 5 number rather, is at 7-1. This is where I will take a stab at a Christian Eckes top 5. And it doesn't feel good. It doesn't make you want to go jump into run to the window right now because you're like, ew. But Mexico City started 34th, finished 4th in that particular road race. What did he do at Watkins Glen? Well, he started 36th and finished 8th. Imagine if he actually gets a pretty good starting position in one of these road course races. That would be fantastic. You know what? We did see that earlier this season, where in his first Xfinity road race, he started in 10th and finished in 5th in this 16 car. So he's done it once already. And then he, like I said, finished 4th at Mexico City. So that's another top 5 finish on a road/street race. And then a fringe top 5 finish at Watkins Glen. And Sonoma, we just won't talk about because that was a 34th place finish and it does not back my narrative. Therefore, we throw it out, right? The outlier. It's the outlier. But yeah, I mean, listen, Christian Eckes has been quietly going about his business this year. He's got 10 top 10 finishes in 24 starts. He does have a pretty dismal 18th place average finish, which is pretty sad for a guy who we were talking about just about every single week last year in the truck series, contending for wins with Corey Heim. It's probably a very disappointing way to go about it in his first rookie season. But road courses, we know, are pretty good for Kaulig racing, especially that 16 car that could probably drive itself around a road course with its eyes closed. Unfortunately, it hasn't this season, but maybe, just maybe, they've stumbled onto something with a couple of good finishes at road course races as of late. So 7-1, I mean, that's just a very big number for a guy that's got a couple of top 5 finishes on road course races already this season. So I think they're sleeping on him and they should stop. So give me Christian Eckes top 5 at 7-1.
Yeah, I think for the number this is, he's definitely capable of doing this, right? And I think that taking a 7-1 bet when it's on a Kaulig car makes it hurt less when the Kaulig car breaks. But Eckes, we know, is a great driver, and he is very capable of getting the top 5 finish. So for the number you're getting at 7-1, I actually really, really like this bet. I considered his top 10, but I think it was around the even money, and it's like there's so many other ones you like, and it's so hard to trust the Kaulig stuff. But increasing it to 7-1 to finish in the top 5, that's going to hurt less when the Kaulig car breaks. And if it doesn't, we know he's going to be in the mix for it. So this is a great bet, Rod. I like this one.
Thank you. I redeemed myself for my Josh Williams.
We've had some disagreements this week. Cup was very disagreeable this week, but I do agree with you there.
Indeed. All right. Well, then somebody's got to win this race other than Connor Zilich at minus 60 million to win. Who do we think can do this other than Connor Zilich?
Yeah, again, I mean, we talked about the Connor Zilich thing. If you've skipped forward to the winners, we talked about this at the beginning of the show, so go back and listen to that. But he probably should win this race. But if there's one he's not going to win this year, this is the one because of all the other factors going into it. So I like the odds being depressed for all these other guys. SVG's not in this field. Kyle Larson's not in this field. Ty Gibbs isn't in this field. Daniel Suarez is in this field. All these other guys not in the field. So you absolutely love that for some guys. And then one of those guys is Sam Mayer, who has 4 road course wins in the Xfinity Series to his name. Oh, yeah, he's been really good at this track as well. Now, you painted a picture earlier where he's not, Rod, because he's got finishes of 38th and 28th. And yes, looking at that is correct. But 28th in his first start here, okay, fine. But he comes back here in 2023, finishes in 3rd place, has a great day. 2024 race last year, he was running 3rd place with 2 laps to go, and he hit the goddamn wall right across the start-finish line, popped a tire, and he finishes on 28th. So the result doesn't look as good, but he was right there battling for the lead and the win, really, in that race before things went sour. Did start on the pole here last year, by the way. Track position, very important because, as you mentioned, the non-competitive pit stops. So I think he's going to put himself in position early. I think that with a wounded Connor Zilic, he can hang head to head. And he's got 4 career wins. He's not won in a little bit on a road course, but it's because Zilic has been here and SVG's been here, and we've got the road course ringers. The Cup got now we don't have any of that other than Zilic, but even Zilic isn't at 100%. So don't forget how fucking good baby AJ Allmendinger is in Sam Mayer here, Rod. That's what I'd like to say about that. And looking at his body of work this season, you kind of think he's been quiet this year. It's not been. He did get the win a couple weeks ago at Iowa, so great for him, right? He's got 12 top 5 finishes this season. He's had a very, very strong season. It's been a lot of seconds, a lot of thirds, a lot of fifths, quietly, right? It's not been leading a ton of laps. It's not been flashy. He's just in the mix each and every single week. He's actually got 4 top 5 finishes in a row that he's coming into this race with. You like that? If you look back at the road courses, he survived the chaos at Watkins Glen, almost won that race at the end there, ends up in second place. And Sonoma was kind of a rough day with the 17th place finish, 8th at Chicago, but going back to Mexico City, he had a rough day too. But Coda, 3rd place. So been some good results mixed in there as well. I love Sam Mayer this week, and I think you're getting a discount on him when do we even know does Connor even finish this race? They're going to have 3-minute breaks. They can swap a driver out during a non-competitive pit stop if they need to, if he's not doing well. Plenty of time. So, with not knowing that, I think it definitely makes an interesting case for Mr. Sam Mayer. So, on top of Sam Mayer, I am going to place a bet on Will Brown to win this race at 18-1. Now, it's the same thing for the Colleague stuff. He's in that 11 car. But we've seen that 11 car the last couple of weeks. Justin Haley, Michael McDowell, Carson Hocevar. It's looked great. It's looked like a real good car. Will Brown, if you don't know who he is, another supercars guy, right? He's kind of peaking at the SVG path. Maybe not quite to that degree, right? But he's been great over there. All sorts of championship titles to his name. He won the Supercar Championship this past year, right? Or this year, I guess, 2025. He's already won the championship this year. There you go. He won the TCR in Australia last year, won some other Australia stuff, supercars. He's got a ton of stuff there. 2 starts in the Cup Series. They've not either been that impressive, although he was running really well in one before he had some issues. So there is that. But I think, again, in a weaker field where we have less, SVG's not in this, all these guys not in this race, a wounded Connor Zilic, it kind of opens things up. Now you're bringing in a supercars guy who knows how to race on this type of stuff. He's in a good car in Colleague. As much as we give them shit, they are good cars. 18-1, I think it's worth a little bit of a shot on him to win this race outright. And then talked about him earlier already, Taylor Gray, 30-1. I'm just going to keep betting him if you're going to keep giving me big numbers because he continues to get very close. Second place in Mexico City a couple of weeks ago. He's been really strong on the road courses. I kind of laid out the case for him earlier when I was making the top 10 bet, but at 30-1 in a weaker field with an injured Connor Zilic, I'll say it again, Taylor Gray could put himself in position to win this race.
Indeed. Yeah. So I like all those because again, it just makes it fun. And obviously as people are going to be like, well, no, Connor Zilic is going to win this running away. And that's fine. If you believe that fully,
and if he does,
place your money. Yeah. That's
but be careful where you place your money because some of the books might just steal it from you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so you just got to beware because this is a fluid situation that we probably won't know anything. And even if we do, we still don't know how it'll be handled when it happens to you as well. So in that light, I only gave 2 outrights. I only put 2 bets in the entire card last week. They were both on Connor Zilic and Justin Allgaier because I said those are the 2 guys that I think are going to win that race at Daytona. It's a lot the same here, right? I mean, the same 2 names cycle right back up to the front because if you did not listen to the beginning of this episode, Justin Allgaier finished second in both of these races. He finished second to SVG in 2024. And obviously SVG not in this race, so he would have ended up winning. And then second to Cole Custer in 2023. How frustrating that must have been to finish second to Cole Custer. So if you keep knocking on the door, eventually somebody's going to let you in. And maybe, just maybe, wounded enough as he was, like Cody keeps saying, wounded Connor Zilic opens a little door. 8-1 on Hard Rock for Justin Allgaier to win a race that he's finished second both years that he's been on this, or a couple of years, and then 5th the first year he's been on this, you cannot hang a number like 8-1 on Justin Allgaier with 3 top 5 finishes, 2 runner-up finishes at Portland. Because if Connor Zilic doesn't finish, Justin Allgaier is going to be right there. You know he's going to be right there. And if Connor Zilic slips, if he is in too much pain and he can't concentrate, whatever the case may be, Justin Allgaier is going to be right there waiting, and he's going to be the one to cross the finish line. And 8-1 pays a lot better than -150 in from what I've been told.
Yeah, I don't mind this at all. Obviously, he's been really good. He's good at road course racer. He's kind of underlooked in that area, but he's been extremely good at Portland in particular. So I like that. TK clearing things up for us. Will Brown was the 2024 champ, distant third this year to his teammate in Supercars. So thank you for that. And he also said, I'd say Sam Mayer is an easy top 3, top 5 guy with a chance to win if Connor has issues. Why I didn't think of this, I don't know. But -120 for a top 5 for Sam Mayer, I'm officially adding that to the card. I actually really like that play as well. So I'll take it.
Good. Yeah, because that was one that I was going to put something on Sam Mayer, but you were going to make a point for him later on down the road. And like I said, even this Justin Allgaier, Sam Mayer one, I mean, for me, like I said, Justin Allgaier has been a runner-up. It's hard to beat a runner-up unless you win the race. And so to me, that Mayer play to win the race is probably the best way to go about it. And then the top 5 is also a good way to tackle that because he's going to be good. I mean, I'm not saying that he's not, and I was not poo-pooing him completely. I was just saying that I think Justin Allgaier is going to be that much better than Sam Mayer.
I understand your case, Rod.
Good.
I can see the case you've painted.
Good. Because I was trying to lay it on pretty thick. All right, get out your pen and paper. Time to go over our bets for this Pacific Office Automation 147. I started you out with Justin Allgaier, like I said, over Sam Mayer at even money +100. Cody, or then I gave you, Carson Kvapil at top 10 at +110. I said Harrison Burton, a top 10 car at +250. Josh Williams, not parking it unless he's parking it after his top 10 finish at +550. Christian Eckes as a top 5 car at 7-1. Justin Allgaier to win at 8-1. Cody gave you Sheldon Creed over the Wicked Austin of the West, Austin Hill, at -110. He gave you Jesse Love to finish better than Nick Sanchez at -115. William Sawalich as a top 5 car at +450. Joey Hand as a top 10 car at even money +100. Taylor Gray as a top 10 car at even money as well. And then Austin Green as a top 10 car at +175. The good Green, or the good Austin rather. And then Sam Mayer to win at 7-1. Will Brown at 18-1. And Taylor Gray at 30-1 to win this race at Portland. Well, Cody, we had to zig and zag to get here, but I think we put in a very decent card, all things considered.
I think we did as well, Rod. It's been a great time as always. Enjoy the we get a Saturday doubleheader. We'll have the trucks opening up I think it's 11 a.m. start for them. I don't remember what time zone that's in. I think it's Central Time, but so early morning essentially for them, and then they'll be at Darlington obviously, and then coverage will switch over to this race out in Portland. Get some left and rights in before the Southern 500 on Sunday. So exciting weekend. Only 2 races left before the playoffs.
Forward all your calls. You're going to be busy on Saturday all day long because, you won't want to move from the couch at all. All right, Cody. Well, speaking of which, we're going to have to let everybody go so they can go and place their bets for this one. And, let everyone know where they can find you while they sit and wait for you to come back on Tuesday.
Yeah, absolutely. I will not be with Rod tomorrow, but I'll share some of my picks. He can, I always like to share the picks and then let him make the case for it. So that's always fun. I wish there was, if it was a Cup episode, I guarantee you Hocevar and Gibbs would make it just to make him have to find the case. But unfortunately, not the case. But that's okay. I will still have my picks. So make sure you join him here in the chat live, help carry him through episode by himself. That's always a lot of fun. But I'll be. We got over 100 sprint cars pre-registered, Rob, for a 4-day show all over the country, like Washington State, all the way to Pennsylvania, Texas, everything. And then the main feature on Sunday night, they start 3 wide, little bull ring track. Oh, it's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing. So I'll be working at that. So if you're in the Nebraska area, head out to Eagle Raceway for the 13th annual Race Saver Nationals. Anyways, in the meantime, Rod, follow me over on the X at Husker_Zeeb. You can find all my stuff there. A lot of college football, NFL, racing, everything else I can write on under the sun. It's all over there. Best of luck to everybody this weekend. Go Huskers. And we'll see you guys next week.
Yes, sir. Follow me on Twitter at RJ Villagomez. Link in the about everything I got going on, whether it's here. Make sure you check out Seth and Elliot tomorrow as they break down the Lady in Black for you on the In Between Media channel. And then, of course, check out my DJ's only play of the day at the Sports Gambling Podcast site. Kabaddi coming up in a couple of days. There's been rugby. There's been badminton. There's been all kinds of stuff coming up. I think there's maybe rodeo even. Just keep an eye out. There would be a lot of fun stuff coming down the pipe for that. All right. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Solo show for me, DFS and trucks. And we'll kick it all down for you tomorrow. So until then, let's go racing and let it ride.